2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Dale Pinkert here, TradeGATEHub.com with my co-anchor, Mike Venezia.
Good morning.
Mike, hey, how are you, Mike? So I just want to show a couple things quick. It's very possible that a lot of Apple longs are stuck on Gilligan's Island. This is a rare island top. So the professor and Marianne and who else was there? Gilligan and the skipper,
the professor.
Look at, they're all up here, you know.
What about Thurston Howell? He was the most important. He never got a margin call.
Mr. Baxter. So they're all stuck with this gap lower opening, and earnings are going to decide this market, similarly to how Microsoft saved the market last week.
Exactly correct.
So we'll see if Apple could do it. I will say this, even if you get a rally in S&Ps, I want to show you this weekly chart. And there's no way that you can sugarcoat it. It's a pretty ugly candle.
Yeah.
Right. And this, if we close under 41.33, that 2-week reversal system I use, it's so simple. Forrest Gump could use it. All you do is you count back 2 weekly closes, and that gives you 41.33 2 weeks ago. We're 80 handles under that number. So to me, yeah. So to me, this market is not only unhealthy like it was rallying with mainly concentrated issues. Now I think it's got a fever. So the only things working again are metals. Again, gold spiked last night. I'm glad I got out of the way yesterday, and silver's trying to make a new high here. A lot of the silver shares are not making new highs, but the gold shares are.
They're taking tremendous volume. Coach, they're listen, you can look at it what you want, but they're piling into calls. Any date they want, any date.
How far out are they going?
January. January. That's pretty mean. That's a macro call.
Yeah, there sure is.
Especially when they're backing it up. It's not like they're trying to squeeze some shorts or hold on, or go with their momentum and just keep piling on the calls and try to make another 10%, 20% on the day on these, short-term calls. They're saying, I'm not going to look until January. I think I'm going to be okay.
Okay. So I think the only thing that could take them back down would be a pretty good sell-off in S&Ps, and maybe it won't. Well, I'll have to pay attention to it. Normally, the shares can suffer on a stock sell-off when the bullion is still doing okay.
That's
so
correct.
We'll see. I mean, if we get strong follow-through, I'll leave it with VIX. We got our close. Well, we're not closed, but we're over 20. And unless there's a big reversal today, I wouldn't be short VIX. I would not be short volatility.
No, this time it's different, Coach. We talked about the breadth, the past couple of weeks, and it was a crowded thought. It's coming to fruition, but there are more. Forget about the breadth. Well, hold on. Don't forget about it. But there are stocks on this. Every stock and big stocks in various sectors just imploding. Forget about the banks. You have, United Rentals. You have Capri that's in retail. Goldman Sachs. You have Etsy. You have Boeing, you have Para Entertainment, you have Run Solar, you have every stock.
You have oils.
Well, forget about, that's been evident. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what sector is going to save the market? So now mega cap tech, which people are calling, if you watch a Jesse Felder interview, he said people are calling it the new safety trade. And you've heard me talk about it before, that people look at Apple like it's an icon, it's a bond. I own Apple, it's a safe stock, it's a good company, and they feel that way about a lot of the MAG and FANG stocks. Like last year.
What it is actually a barometer.
Yeah, so they feel like when the market's in turmoil, they're going to be safe with these issues. Well, maybe another lesson might be learned here.
Well, tonight you're going to learn even more. Like you said again, not to be redundant, it's a game of hopscotch. Now we had the Fed and hangover. Now you're going to have Apple. You're going to be standing on 2 legs or 1 leg. You know what I mean? After tonight. So I know it's the VIX is up here. One of my, I'm going lighter because I don't have to take overnight risk with this type of volatility. That's what I'm here for. But until then, yeah, I wouldn't be know what you're buying at this point, especially, have a plan going forward. These are type of levels that are, it's almost like Tetris. When you built up, it's that another leg down that we're in this area now. You know what I mean?
And S&P's trying to hold that low, went for stops.
They hit the 50
I
day.
would tell people pay attention to this 41.25 area
Yeah,
on any
that's what Lewis said.
bounce.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Lewis's area.
Okay. So why don't you share with our viewers what you're doing today? Are there any, just like there's conviction, bullishness in the options market in golds, any conviction on the option sweeps for short positions, put positions, sweeps coming in?
Let me go into TradeGATEHub. Yeah, plenty of them. I'll show you. And I've been posting a TradeGATEHub here, as I always do. It's my job to relay the information, not as much to disseminate it. You know what I mean? There's an old rule on the trading desk. No one gives an opinion unless you're asked. You know what I mean?
I
Because
like that.
some guy shirts out. Well, I think the market's going up here. Are you short? Well, no. Then you know what I mean. Don't you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's when it's
I
so.
know.
You know what I mean. You've been around longer than I have to know that. To TradeGATEHub, listen, I'm shot. If I worked a quarter this hard when I was in my 20s and 30s, when the real money was made, I'd be on the cover of Forbes. But I digress. Okay. All right. So you had stocks with major moves. Twitter was down. This is short-term sentiment. The banks are down. Some of the mega caps are holding up slightly. So it's a wash right now. It's really, to me, not a market direction. I'm watching the bank. I'm not. Matter of fact, the indices are the least, my smallest concern, as opposed to the SPX, the major in the big daddy. I'm watching the banking sector. I'm watching still stocks, major stocks like United Rentals, Goldman Sachs, Etsy, how it's acting, Para, Boeing. I'm watching individual.
You're short. You still short UAL and
No, I
Etsy?
am not. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm short Etsy. I took that off nicely. I took half off last night for a little bit of a loss. Then I covered this morning, actually pre-market. It's not even on here. Pre-market, 92.5, I think. And it was 110 last night. A good short of mine. You know what? I made a lot of money in this. I'm not going to lie. ATI, it's like the supply sector for aerospace and parts. It went along with it has a little bit of SPR in it, had a little bit of Boeing in it. You know what I mean? I see these is starting to turn in this ATI. I know the stock well. You know what I mean? I thought it was overbought. I had a lot of it short overnight. I actually covered
You're
it.
still showing TradeGATEHub here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
ATI, I covered that. I mean, that closed at 38.
Wow.
I posted that at 35.
Yeah.
That was a lotto. Here's
Yeah.
the market right now. Oh, market bounced very nicely off the 50 day. There's the market going up. So what's moving now?
Okay.
Tesla, Shopify breaking high. That's the stock of the day. There's my screen. NNOX. For example, forget indices, sans the indices. This stock is hot and it's in play. It has volume. Stock went from 10 to 15. It's up 25%, actually 50%. So, these stocks are hot. But what else is Para's? We're playing Para, breaking low now. I had a huge position in Para. Sold it where? At 18? Sold Para. I started buying it aggressively. First of all, I started at 1787. Then I said enough is enough. And I bought a lot of it here. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why it says the shares. It's 1707. So my average price was what? 1720. I blew out of most of it. 1794. Good trade. Now it's $1.20 lower. So like I said, I'm looking to trade the early money, make some smash and grabs. Now the stock probably should be shorting it at the 1030 breakdown. But stocks like this, Capri is another one, a big retailer. There it is right there. We have another ones. Disney finally was getting hurt by Para. Disney went from being over the 200-day flipped. General Motors flipped too. Now General Motors has no bottom. It looked like it might have been basing a little bit, or holding a base. General Motors. What else? Etsy, same thing.
I think with this week's action, with us not taking out the 4,200 level, which was most people thought it was a layup early in the week. I had people tweet me because they know I'm bearish, and they go 4,200 is going to give way this week, and we were already at 41.75. So, I mean, it wasn't a big aggressive call, but they're not retweeting that today. So, I think this week, unless there's, huge reversals by tomorrow's close, is a negative week. And I think you have to move more into selling the rips
Well, that's
for a while.
right, and that's what the option and even volatility is saying. Let me go back to this one, which is stock that I've been on. CRISPR. We can go to TGH here. Where is this? That was yesterday. Sorry. All right. So what I'm trying to put position people in not advanced positions and things that make sense, because sometimes there's some no rhyme or reason why I do things.
Yeah, CTAs are pretty long. I was reading the other
They
day.
are, well, I mean, the S&P, you know what? Listen, the NASDAQ has a little bit more support than the S&P.
Yeah.
So the S&P is the one that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more broad based here. As the mega cap, you might beg to differ because I know your thesis on the mega caps are for example, Apple, which is why they're holding up a little bit. And that might be the safety trade, if you will, with the NASDAQ. So
yeah.
Here's the picture on oil. I wish I saw this last night.
The safety trade is a bomb shelter with food and water and ammo.
Well, you know what? I knew that. And I thought about this morning until Kellogg reversed on earnings. Here's Kellogg even. So how often, hold on. How often do you see Kellogg have, people want to say, oh, Mike V managed money. Kellogg, which is, went from 70, Kellogg's moved 6% in 2 days. How am I supposed to manage money when somebody's, watching Wheel of Fortune on Monday, then they're up in Kellogg, and then Friday, they say, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? Kellogg. Kellogg go back to a monthly. It took Kellogg, there's 2008 to 2020. It took Kellogg 15 years to move that much. So anyway,
yeah,
I digress.
So there's even huge volatility in staples.
Well, what I'm saying in staples, you're saying shelter, even shelter. Look at even RCL.
Give me shelter, the Stones.
You know what? That was the first concert I ever went to live, Shea Stadium. It was like 19.
It's just a shout away. It's just a shout away.
No, but what I was used to seeing is I was used to seeing Met games. Then I took the subway from Long Island and we actually got some beers. And then I saw this woman that, the black lady slinging that and Mick Jagger. And I said, whoa, this is what transcends anything that Mookie Wilson would ever do. So that's the first concert I ever saw, as I digress again.
They were way ahead of their time with their song, Hey, You, Get Off of My Cloud.
Right.
Because, the cloud's pretty crowded nowadays.
It was the cloud, a lot of SaaS trades. Royal Caribbean was up 10%. What recession?
Cruising.
Kellogg, by the way, I had your thought this morning with fruit and shelter. That's why I normally don't post Kellogg, but I said Kellogg, posted at estimates. Then I'm saying, where are we buying Para, IEP, Carl Icahn still getting hurt. There's my notebook. I shared my notes this morning.
Wow, look at that. It's like Einstein.
All right. My earnings ranges. I was looking for earnings ranges.
Yeah.
A lot of them worked.
Yeah.
Path had calls yesterday work. Goals, EVA, RVLV. Look at RVLV. RVLV, for example. This is the RVLV trade. RVLV today, you have to watch it. I traded, has good volume. They shorted it got stopped everybody out at year lows at 17.
Oh my God.
And by the way, it had volume. 17, you turn around, I walk Tony P. 10 minutes later, it's 1980.
Yeah,
so there's
it did fill the gap. Yeah, it tried to fill the gap.
So the move is over, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm trying to catch these things. And the same with Para, that like that. I caught a little early. That should have went the other way soon. Etsy was the same thing. Etsy was holding good this morning. First print 97. You walked around Tony P. It's 90. But then you could have bought the schnitzel and bought it to 96. So why am I taking overnights when I have these type of moves? Granted, you can't catch everyone. And by the way, I'm taking up applications for a clerk. I would have paid a salary this year and I'm yelling out orders this year. But this is what this is my some of my homework. That's all. Day resumption trades, a stock that might take a day off. For example, an SPR. You know what I mean? That had a nice move in the morning. It's been beaten up for how many days? Maybe the third day down, second day down. I'm not saying maybe you wanted to short it on the pop, but still, stock closed at 26. Then you could have had a 25.30 open down $1, broke the open price at 26.20. There you are, 26.80. That's 60 cents. I know there's a lot of movement, but you concentrate. It's still $1.80 on a stock that's been moving a lot. So there's range action and news, and that's what I like to do.
And speaking about news, we have NFP tomorrow, and with the Fed statement, it's an important number for the market because if it comes in strong, it reinforces that maybe there's not a pause, or at best a pause. And if it comes in weaker, market will celebrate it because that's the kind of information that the Fed is waiting for to stop raising rates. It's
Well,
a
Coach,
weaker jobs number.
the reason
So-
I bought some of these banks last night and I sold them 4 a.m. this morning. That's something accountable, something meant to, by the way, Corvo, you look like this was doing great, right? The tech stock has a little bit to do with chips on the breakout through the gap, even above the gap. That one, price action 102 to 92, $10 move.
Okay, we're
Doing.
back at TradeGATEHub, so
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not seeing the chart.
I'll move on Corvo. You think it's breaking out a tech stock? It's a good as a
Oh,
in it.
that's a terror. That's bad action.
102 to 92. Now it went to flip flop. Now it went from breaking out above all moving averages, having
Yeah, I
it
see
steady, to doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So anyway, what was I saying? I bought some of the banks last evening because
Yeah.
the Fed had just said that afternoon. The banking system seems to be stable or stabilizing, right, Coach?
They did say that, but they always say that.
Oh, well, hold on, but still, it's important. Then 4 hours later, look what happens. All
That's
these
what I
stocks are
mean.
down 50,
What are
60%.
they going to say, that it's crumbling? I mean, go back to the GFC, and Bernanke at the beginning of it said it was contained, the subprime mortgage
Well, what
crisis.
you should have done
So
is just
they're IR guys, Mike. They're investor relation guys
that's
for the
fair.
U.S.
That's fair.
That's what they
I
are.
just think they should have gotten all over with and let
Don't sell. Don't sell. Things are going to get
No,
better.
I got you right. Miners seeing some protection roll into strength.
Okay, so they're, yeah, they want to lock some of this
Hey,
in.
okay, what else? Snow, calls. Let's interested. This is why the market's bouncing a little bit. Liquidity getting better. We're on a buy signal here. All right.
Anti-VIX
Yeah, we're gonna
remains
get
on
going.
squiz.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell CRISPR. There's CRISPR. This is the stock, and this is the stock where I wanted to point out. I'll show my chart. CRISPR. Nutella had earnings. Stock's acting well. It's a bio. Breakout through the flag with volume.
That looks good.
Yeah, Nutella. Uh-oh.
That doesn't.
Sound. What big news just came out?
That
Look at
doesn't.
Nutella. Nutella goes with CRISPR. So Nutella's having a good day. They're both with gene editing. Stocks are trading in groups. What's happening now?
Yeah. What's new about that? I don't know what's left to rotate into.
Wayfair.
Anyway,
Yeah, Wayfair was a stock that Wayfair was out of business literally 3 days ago, from 29 to 37. Zillow
Yeah.
now Zillow I have an interest in looking at. Zillow's actually now breaking out a little bit, and that stock has had a short interest. It seems it abated a little bit because now it's actually looking good. Zillow's actually on my buy list. It's not the best of breed. It's a little. I can't lie with the price action in the chart and the volume and the fact that this is what happened with the other home builders. I know it's kind of
yeah.
in the
Well, I
same
mean,
church.
lower yields. I mean, we've had yields dropping, so their interest rate sensitive stuff is acting okay.
These stocks are halting now, 370 to 8. Everybody's telling me ASNS. This stock be interested in. It's getting halted. So there are movements. It's GFAS. Look at this is what I talk about a resumption. Let's go to. I know you yell at me with charts. Okay, it's got the 3 drive. It went from 2 to 4. Let's go to the daily. All right, so it has it in it. It pops to have it in it. So once it stayed above this 50-day for a while, it's got a little. It's got a what do they call that thing? The trampoline under it. All right, had a big day, pulled back. Now it's above the 200-day. But these are listen, you can't catch everything. But
do you remember what Flubber was?
Flubber. That's a book by Judy Bloom.
Okay.
Is it?
And what does it do, Flubber?
I think Flubber's a book. I don't know. Am I right?
Fred McMurray, Flubber. It was this material you'd put on your shoes and you could jump high or put on your car and it would fly.
George Costanza.
Google it. No, George Costanza.
I'm doing it. Flubber.
Oh, there's modern version with Robin Williams.
I got it. Flubber. All right. You should have said silly putty. I would have meant.
It looks a lot like it. Anyway, okay.
All right. For
What do you
those,
want to wrap with here?
I'm going to wrap this. For those that maybe we are fast and furious, what I would suggest is going here. Up high on relative volume. You can even press by time of the day. What's up at 11:15? CDE, hook, snow, Mara. I already said snow calls. Down on high relative volume. Breakouts on the day. Moving up now. You could press that by time. What's moving up now by time? ENVX top is ripping. That's it. So listen, there's a lot to do. I know that everybody's tuned in on what the market's
What's
doing.
wrong with Walmart? I saw it down 11 on your screen.
No, that might be, no, that was not Walmart. Oof, no, there's the chart on Walmart. Here's the chart on Walmart. That's not going down yet. But you know what
Okay.
the one is Target breaking everything. Target hasn't been this low in I don't know how many months. That's the one that's breaking
You know,
down.
you've showed me at least 10 charts that look like they're about to take out both their January and October lows. Many of them. Not that, but
No, I
many
know
of
I
them
could. Oh,
today.
yeah, I could show you plenty of them.
Yeah.
Just go to the new low list. Boeing taking out General Motors, Disney.
And you know, people have been hiding in defense
DuPont, look at
because of the
DuPont.
war.
Even like a DuPont, a
Oh,
macro
that's a really
situation.
bad news.
So that DuPont was 80. How much?
That's a head and shoulders with a breakaway
Well,
gap,
coach,
66. That's going to 44.
not only that, which would manage type of money, I'd rather
54.
take a fee than a percent. I mean, you're sitting
Yeah.
in DuPont from 78 in March. You
Yeah.
turn around at 63.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How am I supposed to rest on that? I constantly have to rotate.
You do. You know, these markets were designed for guys like you
Well, I know that.
right now.
I also
So-
have, yeah, well, they are.
So trade your butt off, bro.
I'm gonna keep
You know,
trying, right? Market looks like it.
You
Go
have
ahead.
skills. You have
Appreciate that.
skills.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Listen, I'm here all day. Some of the ideas that I give, or maybe that's why Coach does the 9:30 video, more of a macro view, which sometimes what I say is can be irrelevant by the time you even watch it on the Red YouTube channel on TradeGATEHub. But it's a dossier. It's basically a video dossier of what we do. Is we are almost approaching 3,000 subscribers. There's always another trade. Always ask questions, comments, even complaints. I don't want to waste your time. I certainly don't want to waste mine. So we're here to make everybody better. Have a plan, trade well, and thank you, Coach.
Keep an open mind. It'll keep your account open.
That's
And
correct.
And we'll see you in